Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to King Arthur Pendragon, year 493, week 17. All right, so in the year 493, a cat attacks you.
No, not a cat.
Not a cat.
No.
How are you cats doing, by the way?
Well, they still hate each other mostly, but not as aggressively as in the past. So that's nice. But this one is
That
just
is nice.
she just wants to cuddle all over my shoulder all the time.
Aww.
Actually, a parrot.
Yep, well, that's kind of why I got her. Because she crawled up on my shoulder, and I was like, parrot cat, hooray. All right, baby. Here, I'm going to put you down over here.
We have a new GM today.
Yep. Meow, meow, meow.
There are
Right.
many. You have to kill them all.
All right, so, gossip for the year 493. Maybe war isn't so bad if it's over there in other people's lands. Look at the gifts everyone got last Christmas time. That is unchristian and short-sighted as well. Didn't your own cousin lose a son in that war? And what of those widows over in the Franks' lands now crying all winter? We have spent our share of time shivering in the winter and crying over the dead. It's time we got some back. That's what I say. Yes. So, the news from around the realm, Duke Ulfius, who is now Hrethric's father-in-law. He says, King Claudius of the Franks won a great battle last year against the Alemanni, his greatest opponents. He promised his wife and his bishop that he would become Christian if he won. And now they are pestering to hold him to that promise. Meanwhile, Duke Brastius says, King Pellenor has apparently abandoned his kingdom to pursue some fantastic creature he encountered. It is as if he is under the spell of magic. And meanwhile, what you hear about the king is that he is withdrawn, and he has been barely seen this year in his court. So, yeah, you are... I guess if you'd like to make some intrigue rolls or courtesy tests or something, you could try to get a little more information about what's going on around the kingdom.
Yeah. Courtesy.
Courtesy.
Yeah, I think. I'm going with courtesy as well. I imagine
cool.
This might have come up with talking to Earl Roderick at some point or another.
Yeah,
Yeah.
nice.
So that's what I imagine what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, all three of you
That
very
nice.
as you're associating at court, which is in Silchester this year. Let's see, maybe I can point out what that is.
All of our characters, we all have a directed trait, right? We're all suspicious of Silchester, right?
Yes, because you're Kimrick. Well, actually, Elaine may not.
Oh,
be.
I am too.
Oh,
It's
are you?
low, but I am.
Okay, yeah. You're suspicious of Silchester, so let's see. Y'all are all over here at court this year, and yes, you hear word from around court as you just sort of associate and schmooze with people. You hear that the Saxon king Octa has escaped from his prison, and there is great rejoicing among the Saxons, and many volunteers in Saxony are moving towards the escaped king's stronghold. Yes, so that probably just you sort of hear this, and then with the loss of Prince Madoc a year ago, and with the loss of his son recently, King Uther is just in a foul mood. Not only that, but you're hearing talk from amongst Uther's his vassals, and they don't quite refer to him with the reverence that they used to, right? When Uther was this great victorious warrior king who had conquered the traitor Duke Gorlois, everybody spoke of him with this awe in their voice, this reverence, and now now that's sort of the people are talking behind their hands, saying, "Oh, what could be troubling the king? Is this a sign?" Anyway, yes, at court, the king is rarely seen, and his courtiers are carrying on business for him. The doctors are seen entering his chambers often, and it is spoken of freely that the king is quite ill. Earl Roderick approaches the three of you one evening, and he sits down with you. He says, Dwinwyn, as one of my most favored vassals at the moment, I must come to you and ask you, along with Sir Nidian, my son-in-law. I have a great favor to ask of the three of you. The king has charged me with going north into Malahote to speak with Herote de Apres, the Centurion king. He wishes for me to broker an alliance to fight the Saxons, now that Octa has escaped, and it sounds as though the drums of war beat on our horizon. Can I trust the three of you to join me in this task?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
It may be risky. The Malahote, despite the recent marriage of Margaz to the king, Malahote they are not a hospitable people.
Do we know anything about Malahote?
I don't think so. You haven't heard too much about them. I think you might have visited there briefly once. Let's see. I'll bring you over to the map of Britain. So Malahote is up here in the north, so it's quite far from where you are in Silchester.
Wait. Okay.
Yeah.
We do not shy away from risk, do we? And she looks at Nidian and Elaine.
Nay.
Very well, very well. Yes, well, let us be on the way. And do you all have any preparations you want to make before going?
I do.
Okay.
Well, I just want to have a quick little vignette with my wife. Just let her know that what
All
we're
right.
doing.
Yep, the Lady Jenna, sure.
Just let her know that we'll be back. And tell her that this is an important mission.
Yeah. So okay, so I think she probably
Do you know anything? Also
about
Malahote.
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 Let's see. Give me an intrigue roll.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess the answer is nothing because my intrigue. Yeah, I mean, it's okay. You're right.
Oh, you crit it, bro! Yeah, I think the Lady Jenna, you greet her when you make it back to your manor, and she greets you warmly, and she says, "Oh, my love, Nidian, it's so wonderful to see you back. How go things with my father and with the king?" And she frowns as she hears all of what's been asked of you, and she says, "Here, my husband, I have made you this," and she has crafted from silver a rose in the shape of the rose that you plucked for her last year, and she pins it to your cloak, and it's a pin that you you drive the skewer through in order to pin your cloak.
It's a brooch. It's a brooch to keep the cloak together.
Yeah, absolutely. And she rests her hand on your chest, and she says, "Nidian, take care when you are within the lands of Malahote, for if anything should happen to King Uther, and it sounds as though his health is poorly these days, Herote de Apres has married Margaz, the Queen Igraine's oldest daughter. This gives Herote de Apres fair justification to be in line for the throne of all of Britain were Uther to die. Be aware, he may not be a friendly person."
I'm just gonna embrace her and with a nice hug and be like, your words will always be at my heart once we enter their lands.
Go swiftly, my love. I know that you will make a great case for our kingdom. Nice. Elaine, Dwinwyn?
Until my return, as I dash through the door.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just I kiss my wife. I kiss my son.
Mm-hmm.
I will cut some flowers from my garden, some
Okay.
flowers, in case I want to use them wisely at some point.
Are you cutting any specific flowers?
Mm, not really. Probably ones that deal with like intrigue or ones that deal with like getting people to be honest or truthful or
Okay, yeah.
like conversational ones.
Yeah, let's see. I'll just really quickly look in the
Sorry.
garden and see what those
the
would be.
manor book open.
Yeah. Honesty, intrigue. Right.
We used the chrysanthemum last time, and I think that was like
White chrysanthemum, truthfulness. Yes.
yeah, that's a good one.
Yes. Truthfulness, white chrysanthemum, modesty, piousness, hope, perhaps.
That could be cool.
Yeah, that's an apple blossom.
Okay.
Cool. Yeah, awesome. Okay, so you gather a small bundle of flowers to help, your approach to the court of Malahot. Nice.
Cool.
Dwinwin, anything from you? It's fine if not.
Yeah. Well, just real quickly, just for color, Women will do some kind of like, I don't know, medieval Arthurian tarot reading to like try to predict at like any of the drama that may be coming.
Nice.
These people in the north.
Yeah, okay, let's
I don't think
see.
there's like a role for that. I don't know if there's a role.
Well, I was gonna maybe invite you to make like a folklore roll or something. Hang on, maybe either folklore or fairy lore. Actually, I think it would be fairy lore.
Totally. Yeah, I forgot that was a thing. So yeah, I will leave out some milk for the fairies and do some tarot card reading.
Cool.
Yeah. No.
Nope. You perform your tarot reading accurately, and you see like some dark clouds on the horizon, and some exhortation to personal dignity, and some generic sorts of things, but you don't get anything that's sort of specifically insightful about the situation as currently rising.
Cool.
Right. So you ride out to meet Earl Roderick at Sarum. And as you approach, the three of you have met on the road. As you approach, you see that Earl Roderick he's sat on his horse next to another gentleman. He's tall, he's young, he's very strikingly handsome, except that he also looks entirely unkempt. Like he's got like a branch that's broken off sticking out of the back of one of his pieces of armor, like on his shoulder. His beard is long and scraggly, and his hair is like entirely unwashed. And he's got this big, long, droopy mustache.
Yes.
And you ride up, and he says, "Whoa, hello, what? Oh, Roderick, I didn't know that you had such fine knights in your service. What? And Earl, you see Earl Roderick just go, yes. And he hails you as you approach, and he says, "My knights, this is King Pellenor."
Pellenor.
And he was visiting Silchester, and he heard of our task to visit Malahot, and as we will be passing through a number of dense forests on our way, he, thrilled by the hunt as he has decided to join us. And he sort of goes, yes,
Is he part horse? He's like half horse.
basically, yes.
Eric, you're muted.
Oh my god, I've been asking the question this whole time.
Oh no, I haven't heard you.
I'm like, yeah, sir, I muted myself. Sir Pellenor is after the questing beast, right?
Yes,
He's that one, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
that's King Pellenor.
Right?
Yeah, he's sorry.
That was brought up last session, right?
Yep.
That he was after, so that's something we would know.
Yep.
So I would totally be asking like, King Pellenor, it's so great to meet you. How goes your hunt?
He says, "Oh, you've heard of my hunt. I'm assuming you all are on the road, riding your horses northwards along Yeah, along the Clarence wilderness.
Well,
And he says, "Well, you know of the hunt for the questing beast."
oh yeah, I mean someone who has recently rose in prominence to have the honor of marrying with a Roderick. I'm like looking at a rock when I'm saying this. Someone's very, very important daughter. I feel like I took it upon myself to learn a little bit more of the realm and like just
Yeah. Are you being
class at the community college?
are you being proud at the moment?
Yeah, I totally am.
All right.
I'm pretty like, oh, I'm a little highbrow. And yeah, of course I recognize you. You're a great person.
Yeah, go ahead and roll pride.
Of course. Do 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 boop 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 boop. Oh, I'm never roll this.
Ah, hey, check it out. Yeah, despite your innate modesty, you recognize. Actually, I think you've maybe heard that King Pellenor is very proud of his hunting capabilities. And so you're sort of like calling on your own innate pride to make a connection with him, and it totally works.
Yeah, and totally being like, so Lady and Jenna and I are talking about hunting and stuff all the time. So I was like, of course you've come up in conversation.
Yeah.
Of course the come up. Yeah, Lady Jenna and I are avid hunters. This is awesome.
Yeah.
This is, we subscribe to Ye Old Hunters Weekly. Hunters Illustrated, and he's like on the cover.
Right. Yeah.
Sorry, obviously, yeah, something to the effect of talking about that we have a common connection there.
Yeah, that's fantastic. I think the two of you end up riding ahead of the group a little bit and just chatting about the hunt. And he's very effusive about it. He says, "Oh yes, the beast glattizant. It is a beast which I have never yet been able to catch, though I have encountered it on 5 separate occasions. Each time, the sound of barking hounds echoing through the forest, signaling its advance, taunting me in the distance. I must get that beast. What? Yes.
I totally want to bring in Elaine here. So I'm gonna be like, oh, well, speaking of interesting beasts, obviously it's no questing beast, but Elaine recently had an encounter with some unicorns or a unicorn, right? And I'm trying to get you guys in the conversation.
Right? Yeah.
And
I was the proud owner of a unicorn myself.
Wow, unicorn owner! Most difficult beasts to own in captivity, are they not?
Most difficult, yes.
Is it still alive?
Unfortunately, no.
Shame. What a terrible fate it is of ours to be creatures of the hunt and desirous to capture and slay these beasts for our love of their magnificence.
Yes.
Oh, I'm totally going to play up some more with Elaine real quick and be like, it was no fault of Elaine, it was fault of herself. A foul fey creature cursed it.
A fey creature?
Indeed.
Yes, most unfortunate.
Know you the nature of the creature which cursed your lands?
I know not. Came in the night.
I came in the night. That's most distressing, yes.
Nice. That was the year you were cursed, right? That was.
I think so. Yeah, totally.
Okay. I had like a super unfortunate year.
Whether or not that's true or not, I'm totally being like, it's I wanted to clear any like it's not your fault. You're really good. It was just some fake creature.
Yeah, that's terrible. Yeah.
So the king would like you.
Very nice. Yeah. So good. Yeah, you all continue riding up the road, and actually, Dwinwyn, as you progress, King Pellenor occasionally takes time to converse with you about your pagan religion, which he also shares. He is a king of the old ways, and perhaps he ropes in Elaine to just talk about the kinds of fairies that might express displeasure at you for having either kidnapped this beast or who knows what kind of foul inadvertent mistake you have made. But Dwinwyn, you like the fairy lore that you were doing with the tarot, do you bring that up at all?
Absolutely, yeah. I say, I spoke with the Fae. I attempted to speak with the Fae before we left to see if there was any impending doom with this meeting that we're about to have. But they were not as forthcoming as I would have liked, but you know how they are.
Yes, quite, not forthcoming at all. But tell me, what did you get any sense at all of what the future holds?
Just some thunderclouds, just a storm on the horizon.
Yes,
That
well,
was it.
that's very.
Very generic, very unclear, nothing specific. Because a storm could be so many things. A storm could be a change. The lightning could represent strength and power that we could build in the upcoming times. Or it could mean a loss of crops. So many different things.
Very true, very true. Yes, I must confess to you, Dwynwen, in my ventures through the forests of Britain, in the past few years I have noticed a change overcoming the forests. I have occasionally found myself in pockets of forest that are denser and wilder and more overgrown in recent years than I have found in years past. It is almost as though the very land itself is beginning to undergo a change. I am most distressed by this, and also your portents of thunderclouds.
That distresses me as well. I wonder if the wild is reacting to some kind of change elsewhere, as though it is trying to become more wild in the face of something more calm.
Oh, yes, as Uther begins to unite the kings of the land and bring peace to Britain, perhaps the fairy world is fighting back against this change. Yes, well, that seems most likely. You are quite an astute knight, Sir Dwynwen.
Oh, well, thank you, but it's just a guess.
True. And he blows his mustache and it just goes. Excellent. So the four of you and Earl Roderick ride all the way north to Malahote. And you're approaching the city of Eburacum, it's marked here on our map. And Earl Roderick stops you all. He says, please, good Sir Knights, good King Pellenor, please, if you would be so kind as to wait here while I sally forth and make parley with the King Herote's men. I'll return very shortly.
Is he aware, like, we've been traveling for a while, does he seem pretty ignorant of the situation, or he's I imagine Earl Roderick's, he's like, well, he knows that this is a dangerous thing, and okay.
He knows more than you do.
I don't have to tell him that. Yeah. Okay, good.
And he's probably heard it.
That's the best thing. I think it's the best answer I could have heard.
Yeah, and he probably heard it straight from Uther, even though the king is ill.
Excellent. Cool.
Yeah, so he rides forth, and Eburacum is just across a river. So he rides across the river, and he hails at the ports of the city. And a knight rides out and converses with him briefly. And Earl Roderick returns maybe an hour or two later. And you all are just across the river. You can see him talking. He speaks with a few people. And then, sometime late in the afternoon, King Herote comes out himself and converses with Earl Roderick. And he returns to you in the late afternoon, and he says, he's got his brow is quite furrowed. King Pellenor turns to you, Elaine, and says, "Oh, your lord, he looks quite cranky."
I think he's merely perplexed. This is a very dangerous task.
Dangerous task. Is there a chance of arms? Shall we be prepared for battle?
I think it's possible, but I think it is to our best interest if it doesn't come to that.
Yes, well, keep your sword at the ready, and we shall approach this threat as needed. But lo, your lord comes. And Earl Roderick comes riding up, his brow furrowed, and he gathers the four of you close, and he says, "Well, my friends, we have not been granted admission into the city of Eburacum. It sounds as though King Herote is going to bear out a great tent and set up a pavilion here on this bank of the river, and we shall hold a court here outside of the city. And in this space will we do our negotiation for the alliance between King Herote and King Uther against the Saxon threat. So, be on your best behavior. Look to your personal belongings and your goods. Keep your weapons and arms at the ready at all times, but also keep them sheathed. We would like to present ourselves as prepared for any eventuality, but not seeking active conflict.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And as the next day passes, a number of servants from the city come out, bearing the bars that will raise the pavilion and the great cloths that will make it. And so, over time, the space is transformed from an empty field into a beautiful pavilion of many colors, the colors of Herot, which is white and purple. And his banner is flying on top, which is a bright purple cross. And he rides out and he establishes court within, and a number of his courtiers and his favored knights come out and join. And the 5 of you are all invited to mingle and sort of enjoy your time freely. As time passes, Earl Roderick occasionally he retreats and speaks in private with King Herot, and occasionally King Pellenor is also invited. Though you hear him loudly over the crowd. He says, "Well, yes, the hunt takes up so much of my time that blah 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 blah, gluttonous and blah blah blah, barking hounds." Yeah. Do any of you want to try and get the feel for the atmosphere in the tent?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. Where do we fit into this weird tent world?
So I'd say each of you can attempt one of the following skills: courtesy, recognize, and intrigue. And feel free to call upon your passions if you feel that would help you.
So just pick one to roll.
Yeah.
Okay. How about hospitality?
Unfortunately, you're not the one who is giving hospitality. You are receiving hospitality from someone else. So at the moment, your own tendency towards hospitality won't help you.
I'm gonna go with intrigue, I think.
Okay, Elaine is going to check her intrigue. Are you going to try to use any passions to help bolster your roll?
Like maybe loyalty or honor?
Yeah. Either of those would certainly make sense. Well, loyalty to Lord. Your Lord is here with you, and so...
I think loyalty, yeah.
Okay.
Also, I feel sort of loyalty to Pellenor, too, now. Just because you're so convivial.
Fair.
Ah!
Oh, damn! Check that crit! So
Yeah.
you forgot to roll your loyalty, but that's
Oh, I
okay
did. I
because you
forgot.
crit your intrigue.
Sorry.
Yeah, let's continue with the other rolls, and then I'll tell you the total sum of what you find
Okay.
out.
Okay.
I think I was just going to test my courtesy again.
Okay.
I'm gonna do
Yep,
honor.
nail it. Doing when you're testing your honor. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, you comport yourself very honorably, Dwinwyn, and a number of King Herot's knights take a liking to you as a result of your incredibly honorable demeanor, and they relax a little bit around you. Oh yeah, check that out. And courtesy, yep, no problem. So you're very
Right.
courteous. You're like the most popular new knight in town. Everybody's like, oh yeah, you did what with the fairies?
Yeah.
Oh, that's fascinating. You birthed the Lord's child.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I'm really into it, and I'll tell stories about my friends too, so that they can ride my honor.
Awesome.
train.
You should roll an orate with +10.
Okay. Oh wow, I suck at orating.
Hey, that +10 is gonna help you out then.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah.
Yeah, they're not very interested in your friends. You're like, oh, let me tell you about what a cool guy Nidian is. He's a really cool dude. And they're like, no, Liz, tell us more about you.
I keep trying though, and it's maybe a little embarrassing, and you two get.
And in the meantime, Nidian, you're able to sort of associate with the people in the crowd and sort of schmooze with them that way. And you're sort of gaining your in by praising Dwinwyn's natural abilities and skills and sort of her great honor and nobility. Meanwhile, Elaine, you're sort of on the edges. maybe you're even like acting a little drunker than you actually are.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think? How are you gaining your intrigue information?
No, I like that. I like the like holding my drink and pretending,
Yeah.
because I'm a fairly temperate person, and I'm not big on schmoozing and boozing. But I'm definitely pretending that I'm at a more elevated level of drunkenness.
Yeah.
Just to kind of like meld in with the crowd and like see what they have to say.
So
Buddy up with them.
This meeting here, it takes a number of days, and as the time goes on, other people begin arriving. Who have traveled great distances. And as you're in this tent, Elaine, it's huge. It's a massive space, and it's actually divided inside with cloth dividers and things like that. So as you go around and you sort of party and participate in the festivities and the nightly back and forth, you notice that like some of these newcomers, whenever you sort of show up drunk, like, hey, let's like, yeah. they all just sort of clam up and like turn like their backs to you.
Okay.
And as you begin sort of prying with others of King Herote's knights, you discover that there are a number of northern kings and even some Saxons who are here additionally participating in their own negotiations with King Herote. And as the events go on, you uncover, Elaine, that the Northern Kings and the Saxons are actually plotting together to attack Uther in his weakened state.
Oh
What the
shit!
fuck? So we had a red wedding right now. What's going on?
And it's not like there's about to be a battle or anything like that. But like all of these people, like some of these new envoys, they've already made their own sort of agreement within themselves, and they are approaching Herote to be like, "Hey, buddy, we got a good idea. Uther's got to go." And that's what you discover, Elaine. So
Oh my gosh.
what do you do with that information?
I continue to be as pleasant and friendly as I possibly can, but I definitely run away to Nidian and Dwin, and like there's a little bit of a conspiracy going on here.
Yeah.
Like we've got some other people here, namely the kings from the north and the Saxons are also vying for this position. So we I don't know what we should do.
Not
We have
good.
to stop them.
Yeah. Not absolutely.
Yeah.
How do we prove that we're more worthy
Well, we make them
to be
look bad.
helped? We make them look bad.
Yeah, I don't know how. But what's some good ideas? Let's brainstorm. Let's huddle.
So yeah, I'm trying to think of the word. What is like just bringing sunlight to it, right? I'm trying to think of the way, like, to just get them in the open to express that what they're thinking, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, or like what does
Sunlight, yeah. Like
what
sunlight
does,
is the best disinfectant for this, but obviously I can't say that because we don't know what germ theory is. But
what is his name? Herote?
Yeah, King Herote.
Maybe we can try to figure out like more about his personality and like what he detests in people.
Yeah, okay.
And see if we can be like, see these Saxons, they are not like you.
Yeah.
Cool. We could do that through courtesy.
Yeah,
None
I
of
think
us-
so.
None of us is very intriguey, so we just can't be too tricky. Anything
Yeah.
that we do, we have to be very like honest about.
It's true, it's true.
No trixies.
Elaine's intrigue is the highest, and of course you marked a check for that, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's true. Oh, so you could be intriguey. You could be your strategy makes sense to go find
She's
out.
the intriguey one.
Yeah.
Can we do them more than once in a session?
Yeah, definitely. You
Okay.
can't earn a check more than once, but you
Gotcha.
can use the skill more than once for sure. So feel free. The others of you give me more courtesy checks, and Elaine give me another intrigue roll, and we'll see if y'all can schmooze your way into King Herote's good graces.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, dang.
Mm.
it's the pin. I'm like moving through, navigating the social waters like a fish.
Yeah. So,
Ladies, get it.
Sir Nidian, I think probably Earl Roderick helps you in this. So there comes a moment where Dwynwen, Elaine, and Nidian are all sort of talking together quietly in one side, and Earl Roderick comes to Nidian and he just goes, and so you venture off with Earl Roderick, and yeah, you go into the king's own chambers. And the Lady Margaz is in there with him, and she's dressed in a long black gown with like thick, dark raven hair flowing down her back. Her eyes are violet, and she stands with like a jug of wine that she's serving everybody, including the king. Everybody's drinking it. Nobody seems concerned about poison, so she serves you as well. And the king is. He is strong looking. He looks mighty. If I were to describe the quality of his thews, I would describe them as being mighty. And he looks at you. He's got like short cropped black hair. Actually, you know that that Frank Frazetta painting of Conan on his throne, where he's like sort of lounging back and he's got like short cropped black hair. That's the image of King Herod.
Okay.
Except he's in like full knightly armor,
Cool.
and he gestures to Earl Roderick and says, Roderick, this is the gentleman you were telling me about who married into your family, is it not?" Roderick says, "Yes. Here is Sir Nidian, and let's see, Nidian, I'm looking at your glory. Oh yeah, totally." And he says, "Yes, I hear your family is of great service to kings. Nidian, tell me about yourself."
And I think Nidian proceeds to go off. I think the number one thing he would talk about is probably the Battle of Lindsay.
Okay, yeah.
And how, I would probably say, while I do enjoy courts and a fine party, I find peace and the puzzles of the battlefield to be my home.
Yeah, and Herod is nodding enthusiastically.
Yeah. I was instrumental at the Battle of Lindsay, leading the flank, piercing through the way to the back line. And, I'd start describing the whole thing.
And tell me what was it?
The king.
Yes, what was achieved in the Battle of Lindsay? King Octa.
Correct.
Oh, well, you have proven yourself well on the battlefield. Yes, this is good. It is meet that a knight should prove himself on the field of battle and in the slaughter of his foes. But Sir Nidian, did not Octa escape just recently?
Well, and
yeah. And he follows up as you're like, well, and he's like, what of your great battle prowess now? And he just like drains his goblet of wine and sits back in his chair.
Didn't we ransomed him away?
I think probably it was more like a reward from King Uther. You didn't actually send him back because King Uther wanted him in prison, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Guess I'm not sure what I would say. I guess I would.
Yeah. I think
if it could be bested once, it could be bested again. I'm not concerned.
Yeah, he nods. He says, "I like that. I like your spirit, Nidian." Yeah, Roderick, you certainly have a good set of knights with you.
Yeah.
I'm
sorry, real quick, Stephen.
Yeah.
I'm trying to read him as much as me telling this, and so he seems like he likes battles and that kind of,
Yeah, he seems like he values strength. And his perspective on strength is strength on the battlefield.
Okay.
Yeah. And he turns to Earl Roderick and he says, "Very well, Roderick, we can approach a deal. You may help me with the raids on my lands, for the Saxons have been raiding every year, even without Octa in his seat. And it seems as though your men have been of great service to you in helping against the Saxon threat. If you help me in defending my lands, then I will consider an alliance with Uther against the Saxons. However, times are tight. I can't offer you entry into my city. Surely you understand. I can't I can't offer you the food of my lands. Surely you understand. Your soldiers, they will feed themselves. You will come here to my city and you will defend me against this threat. And then we will see. My army, it may be ready for Uther's defense.
This guy.
Yeah, and I think it's been a number of days by now, and so Earl Roderick, he sort of grits his teeth. He says, I shall bear your message back to my king, my lord. Yeah, so then he comes out, and Dwynwen and Elaine, you see Earl Roderick's brow darkly furrowed as he approaches you in the corner.
Yeah, and yeah. I know as well. I mean, finally, I think probably by this point, I know as well. This is a non-starter. You just came back with something that Uther would never agree to, essentially, right?
I think that's probably the message you deliver to Elaine and Nidian, or Elaine and Dwynwen. Yeah. What do you two think of this turn of events?
Bullshit.
He made his. I think by doing this, he's making his allegiance. No, not necessarily his allegiance clear, but his allegiance as far as. I don't care about King Uther.
Right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Clear.
It sounds
Right.
to Elaine that he's basically made his decision.
Yeah. Man, yeah. And I think I'll probably go to Dwynwen first and then Elaine and be like, the man the king values strength, and based on his offer, he does not view our king very strongly.
Wonder what we could do to prove otherwise. I mean, all we have is stories of battle that we've fought bravely in. But if he is not convinced by those, what else could possibly convince him? I will go try. I don't know. Could we have more conversations with him? Or
yeah, absolutely, sure. Yeah, things are mingling, and he occasionally comes out to mingle with his knights, and of course, Dwynwen. You are one of the most popular of the foreign knights, and so probably one of his knights, Sir Alex, is probably like, "Oh, my king, have you met these foreign knights? This is Sir Dwynwen, please. Sir Dwynwen, you were just telling us about, and what have you been sort of speaking of most to these knights that you've met?"
I don't know. Well, probably the more recent battle. What was our most recent
against
battle?
Gorlois?
Was that a failure? I can't remember.
No, you guys. Well, y'all were set upon in the dark of night.
Terrible.
Yeah. The siege at the Castle Terrabil.
Yeah.
So you all were set upon in the dark of night, and then you turned the battle, and then you slew the Duke.
Yeah, and she is deep within, she's got everyone's attention. She's been telling the story for 10 minutes.
Yeah. Why don't you make an intrigue check? Just to see if you get a special inroads. Do you want to use a passion to sort of improve your standing here in this role?
Yeah, I'm going to keep milking this honor.
Okay, go for it.
Okay, here it goes. It's good.
Nailed it, so roll intrigue with +10.
Arr. Intrigue, where are you? Your own skills. Oh, my intrigue is not good. That's okay.
Yeah.
It's 10.
Oh, nice! You crit!
Oh, it's a crit!
All right.
Oh, yes!
Fuck yeah! I'm so intriguing.
All right, Dwynwen. Here's the right approach that you know because of what you've heard about King Herod.
Right.
The right approach is to cast your tale of battle in terms of being betrayed by a dishonorable foe, and then your strong and iron-fisted resistance to that betrayal.
Sure. Yeah. So they took us. They snuck up on us at night in the most honorable way possible, instead of facing us head on like a true knight does.
Yeah.
You never stab your enemy in the back.
Yeah.
You look them in the eyes, and you make them know how terrifying and powerful you are, and then they will cower in fear before you. But no, they were too afraid of us, and so they snuck upon us at night. And despite that, we defeated them. And, blah, 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 goes on to all the different sieges and the layers of battle and foes that the pikemen and the giant pagan dudes that we fought. people.
Hell yeah.
So you like tell this great story, and it's very clearly an allegory for the relationship between Herot and Uther. It's like, yeah, this guy he tried to stab us in the back. He was plotting treachery, and he fell on us at night, and we eliminated him in the name of our king. And over the course of this, like. At first, Herot is very amused by your boldness, and then his face just sort of like grows darker and darker. And by the end of your tale, like all of the knights around you are cheering at your honor and your glory and your victory. And Herot, he just like turns away and stalks back into his chambers. And Margaz, his wife, she looks at you with a dark appraisal in her eyes.
Yeah.
Sort of gauging you, and then she turns to follow her husband back.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
And Earl Roderick comes to you and he places a hand on your shoulder and he says, "Sir Dwynwen, you have most nobly reminded all of us here and myself as well of the difference between honor and dishonor. This proposal from King Herot, it will not sit well with Uther, but it is up to us to act honorably, even in the face of these grave challenges. Let us return home, and we will return to the king with this news, but we can rest in trust that we will take the right action."
It is true, Sir Roderick. Thank you for your kind words. All we
Yes.
can do is believe in ourselves and fight for his honor and glory of King Uther.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, the four of you set out, and King Pellenor accompanies you some of the way, and then he breaks off sort of down near Pendragon in order to venture back into the forest. His ears perk up, and you can almost see them twitching, and his mustache is sort of wiggling at the side as his eyes go wild. And he looks around, and he says, "Do you hear that? I hear the baying of the hounds." And he turns to the three of you and he says, "Good Sir Knights, it has been my great pleasure to accompany you on this journey. Sir Dwynwen, it has been an honor to discuss with you the nature of the fairy realm in Britain. Sir Nidian, your knowledge of the hunt is second only to mine. Sir Elaine, you also seem very cool."
I think I'm gonna spend my hope flower on Pellenor.
Oh, nice!
I was gonna use it, but Dwynwen was so clutch just now, so I don't need it. So I'm just gonna hand him my apple blossom.
Yeah.
And say I wish you the most bountiful of quests.
Nice. He accepts it from you, and his eyes well up with tears, and he says, "I too hope for great success." And he sticks the apple blossom through his long, scraggly beard, and then he goes, "Hi-yah!" And his horse leaps off into the distance, charging across the field towards the forest.
Awesome.
Yeah. All right, so the four of you return home, and you're all there when Earl Roderick delivers the message to King Uther. He meets you in his private chambers, and he is quite ill. His skin is sallow, and his eyes are sunken and dark, and he has a long, persistent cough that he occasionally has to fight back in your presence. And so shortly after you deliver the message, he grows quite irate. He rages against the dishonor of Malahote and his negotiations with these northern kings, who now are seeking to stab Uther in the back after all that he's done for the realm, after all of the negotiations he's made with these kings, and then the Saxons included, to seek alliance with these enemies of our land who are invading our territory. And he's sort of just like going on and on and on. And finally he calms down. Well, my good knights and my lord Roderick, thank you for your service you have done me today. Though the response is not as I would have wished, it is nevertheless a great service you have done for me in making this outreach, and it is good that we know where Malahote stands on this issue. You are dismissed. And he sends you away. Royal court this year is very gloomy. The queen is still in mourning for the loss of her son, and she is gravely concerned over the king's health, which does begin to turn around towards the end of the year. He is recovering from his long illness, but the mood of the realm is very dark. In Salisbury, Earl Roderick is worried. The condition of the king has affected the entire land of Logris, and King Octa, you hear word that King Octa is marching south along the coast. So, let us execute faithfully our winter phase for the year 493.
Yeah.
So it's clear that war is coming, right?
You're not sure if it's war, but it seems as though tensions are rising among the kings of Britain. What once felt like the path to the High King, the throne of the High King of Britain, seemed very open recently, and now it feels as though the road has gotten muddied and brambles are growing all over. So, excellent, well done, very clutch from all of you here today. I feel like this was like a session Dwinwin with all of the crazy shit that she's gotten up to today.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Dwinwin had the swingiest of rolls today.
Yeah, that's true. Those critical fails plus the others.
True fact.
So, yeah.
All right, so we don't need any solo scenarios this time. Experience rolls. All right. So let's take a look through your character sheets, and each of you get to roll. So let's start with Dwinwin. Is there anything else that you feel you should have earned a check for?
Probably that intrigue roll.
Yeah, definitely. Yep.
Yeah.
Well, you crit it, didn't you? So yeah, you need a check for that. Let's also... I'll give you a check to your honorable.
Okay. Yeah.
Um,
I will roll intrigue.
Okay.
14. I think it went up.
Yes, absolutely. That goes up.
Yeah, about time.
That's
Nice.
great.
Okay, and honor. No, my honor is
Nope.
too.
Your honor stays 16.
Yeah.
As you are a landowner, you may also roll for stewardship and folklore. So go ahead and roll those two.
Okay. 4.
Nope.
No.
What a shame.
Yeah. One day I will gain more folklore. One day.
Mm.
And stewardship goes
Hey, check it. Very nice.
up.
Yay.
Double stewardship. Cool.
Nice.
Awesome. Great. Let's see, Elaine.
Just intrigue for me.
Definitely. Nope. Is there anything else you feel like you should get a check to this time around?
I don't.
Any traits, perhaps? Did you feel particularly just or valorous or?
I mean, I tried to be like energetic. I think. With,
Okay.
Can I put-
being convivial?
I would like to speak on behalf of Elaine and say that she gets a check for fairy lore, talking to Sir Pellenor about raising unicorns.
Totally.
Yep, absolutely, totally.
Okay.
So
Thank you.
give yourself a check to energetic and a check to fairy lore,
Okay.
and let's see if those go up.
No.
No to energetic.
Fairy lore. Da. Where the heck is it? Oh, it's just wait. Oh,
It's a
no, I
skill.
see it. Sorry.
Yeah,
Wait,
yeah.
yes.
It goes up.
Yeah, it goes.
Yay!
Very nice. Okay, and you also get a check to stewardship and folklore for being a landowner.
Excellent.
Nope.
Nope.
No on folklore.
And stewardship. Oh, wait. Is that me or is that Milady?
It would be you.
Okay.
Hey, stewardship goes
Hey.
up. Big ol' 3.
Yay.
Excellent. And then Nidian.
I only have intrigue. However, I believe I should earn a check for hunting.
Yeah.
And or even loyalty to my lord.
Yeah.
Not testing that passion. Me and I was by Roderick's side very much in this
Yep.
intense negotiation.
I will give you
I
both
think
of
I
those.
served him well.
Yep, absolutely.
Nope.
Oh man.
No traits, skills. I believe I earned a check for hunting, talking to King Pellenor as well.
I agree.
Yeah, entry goes up.
Nice.
Hunting. Yeah, hunting goes up.
Yes.
Do I also earn stewardship in folklore?
You sure do.
No, and folklore, probably.
Wow. Wow. You
Uh,
were
kidding?
robbed. All right, so all of you increase your age by 1 year, and your squire's age as well. And then we will check economic circumstances. So, complete land holding. So, last time, Kira, we realized that we have actually been doing your held manors wrong.
Oh no.
Because instead of giving you 6 Librum, you must install someone to hold those manors for you, and that person needs to live at a cost of 4 Librum per year. And so the total sum delivered to you from each manor is 2 Librum, except for your own personal manor, which gives you 6.
Oh, weird. So
Yeah.
how do I? So just 2 instead of 6.
Well, so you get 6 for yourself, but then each additional manor. So let's see. This is Nidian's sheet. You have how many additional manors? 5?
I haven't actually counted it, but yeah. It's in my note.
Kira, you have 5 additional manors, and so that means that you get 16 expected income per year. So you
Wow.
can add a line, and your normal income is going to be 16 in the first column there,
Wow.
instead of 36. Still a lot, but not
Oh, okay.
quite as
So it
much.
actually went down.
Yes,
What
it
is
went
it
down.
for having? What is it for having 4 additional manors, Stephen?
4 additional manors would be 8 on top of your 6, so a total of 14.
Okay, so
14
13.
anticipated income.
I didn't get jack shit from Lillian. I guess she just didn't have a dowry.
I think you got money and glory, but not.
I got yeah.
You didn't
no
get manners. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sad stories.
Sad stories. It's
All
okay. I
right.
love her.
And then calculate your investment income.
Oh yeah.
How do you?
So you would just add up all of the anything that gives you money, roll for it now, and add it in there. So if you had an apiary, you'd roll 1d2.
Ah,
Yeah.
Curses.
curses.
Ah, fish pond. It's working out for me.
Nice.
Haha. 5,
That's
7.
3. Woohoo!
Very cool. Very cool. And Kira, your vineyard is now producing money. So
Like,
the income for a
1d6.
vineyard.
okay. I had to find how much it was.
Excuse me.
Yeah, it's 1d6. Yeah. Oh, check that out.
Got some dollars. Dollar bills,
Nice.
Very nice.
Your rolls today.
Yeah.
Oops.
Beautiful. And then in the third column, mark down anything that costs you maintenance. So, Kira, you have a patron to a scholar costing you 1. You have a vineyard costing you 2.
1, 2, 3.
Mm-hmm.
And then calamities.
I'm breaking even, guys.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good. All right. So, each of you needs to roll 1d6 on the manorial luck table. So, Kira, roll 1d6. Eric, you have no result. Kira, you have a calamity.
No.
And Jess,
No.
you also have a calamity. All right. So,
No.
Kira, roll 1d20.
Oh God. None of my children are allowed to die.
D20. Oh, no. You
fine.
suffered a horrifying disease on your grain,
Ah!
which gives you a plus 10 to fate. So just put 10 in your fate field.
What a real grain in the ass.
Oh, boo. And then Jess, roll 1d20. 7.
7.
Oh no, a fabulous animal has raided. You get plus 6 to fate. Also, you're going to roll on the property destruction table. Also, roll a d6.
A fabulous
I'm
animal. is
sorry,
included?
fabulous
Yeah,
animal.
Yeah.
So is it did the questing beast go through and fuck up your shit?
we're gonna find out. Roll 1d6, Elaine.
1d6, okay.
Oh god.
Tyrannosaurus Rex.
4.
The
Dragon.
Tyrannosaur paddock.
Dragon.
Oh no, it was a huge giant that came marauding
Oh.
through your lands.
Shit.
Oh, I want a dragon.
And please roll 1d20, Elaine.
Oh no. Oh no. 12.
12. A cluster of commoners' houses were destroyed by this huge giant. Your hate of landlord increases by 1.
No.
Yep.
But I don't like the giant.
Yes, but your peasants dislike you more. Because you're their lord. You're supposed to like go tilt at the giant and keep it from killing them. But no.
Thatch roofs aren't up to Britain's code.
Awesome.
I'm sorry.
This
Okay.
was not done with union labor.
Let's see. Okay, so everybody's starting bad weather increases by 3, so I will take that into account on my roll. Roll 3d6 plus 8 instead of plus 5. 24 is the fate this year. So for Kira, it's a 34.
Oh
For
my god.
Elaine, it's a 30.
Oh god.
And remember, some of you have apiaries, and an apiary reduces the weather.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So,
By
So
one.
instead
Okay.
of my 10 fate, I should replace it with a 34.
yes.
Okay.
So you're adding the 24 that I rolled to the fate that you had earlier, giving you a
Gotcha.
total of 34. Yep.
Then we do stewardship care,
Yes, and then we have a care roll. So, care measures how well the knight gets along with his or her peasants. The landlord must attempt a roll of his or her concern for my commoners. So up at the top of this sheet, you can roll, just click the concern my commoners button.
right? Lose.
So Eric, you get a 0 into your care.
Yes.
Here it is.
I haven't done all of my checks for my land.
Yeah, we'll do that now. So each of you have earned a care of 0. So, misfortune roll time. So Kira, I'm going to go for you first.
Okay.
Yep, so they got the misfortune this year for you got a 20, so roll your stewardship, or rather roll Lady Adwin's stewardship.
Okay. That's under my people, I think, right?
Yes.
Oh, no, it's right here.
Yeah, it's at the top there.
Yeah. Lady Adwin, you got this. I love you and believe in you.
Oh no, Lady Adwin failed, and also that is actually a critical success for the misfortunes. So let's see what that calculates out to. You are not going to have a good harvest this year. So the misfortunes die roll was a critical, and yours was a failure. That means that your harvest this year was very bad. So in that drop down, find VB,
VB.
which is 1/4 the normal income.
I love VB.
That's pretty terrible.
Shit.
All right.
All right, and Elaine, let's take a look at yours. Here is your calamity roll. Oh wow, okay, only a 10,
Okay,
so you
okay.
could probably do better than that.
Possible.
Nope. Okay, so success on the misfortune and failure. So you had a bad harvest this year.
Okay.
So mark that down for yourself. That's 1/2 of normal. And then Nidian. Let's take a look at
So-
you.
I have a pretty solid stewardship. However, I never asked you what's Lady Jenna's stewardship.
Let's say it's probably like 2d6 plus 10. So roll that.
Yeah, I will be happy to. 17.
17.
Nice.
She's a good steward.
She's better than me. I'm gonna let her do it.
Makes sense.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's usually the way of things. So your misfortune roll is only an 8.
Not bad.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe.
That's under 3's under 17.
So that is a success, but you lose the tie. So a success. So you have a meager result.
Meager.
So 3/4. Still able to maintain yourself well. Actually, as a rich knight, so that's good for you.
Cool.
Okay. That's the end of that.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Harvest results shift right. Yep. Manor income, great. Tally everything together. If you are short on income, then you might need emergency income. You can get it out of your treasury. So Elaine, I think you probably will want to get at least 3 librum from your treasury.
3 out, yeah.
Yep. To maintain yourself as a normal knight. And the others of you are still maintaining yourself as a normal knight regardless, right?
Barely.
Yeah. Oh, no. Dwinwin, you do need to gain 1.25 librum from your treasury in order to maintain yourself as a normal knight. Yeah, so you've only got 4.75 librum this year from your income. And you need at least 6 to be a normal knight.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So do I just put, like, 2 in this emergency thing?
Sure, yeah. And then make sure you reduce your treasury by 2, so 138 instead of 140. Okay. So now, if you have any checks as a result of your land features, go ahead and roll them. So, Kira, roll your spiritual. Ooh, yeah. Nidian goes more energetic.
Those bees.
Yep, keeping you on your feet. I'm imagining that you get more energy because you're like running from bees.
I know, that's what I imagine it is too.
Oh, nice. Love of God increases.
God.
Great.
I have...
Oh.
Nice.
Spiritual goes up.
Oh, does it?
I have romance for my garden, so should I do venery for Elaine?
Dwinwin, your spiritual stays the same. Eric's spiritual goes up. And then, yes, roll venery.
Sorry, do you want me to wait and like in a turn order, or can I just keep going? Or
no,
okay?
You should be fine.
All right, sorry.
Aha!
Nice, more romantic.
So romantic.
Aquitanian knight. Yeah, falconry goes up for Nidian. Awesome.
Oh, my gazebo! I get the flirting.
Nice.
Damn it!
Oh, the Lady Jenna is not impressed by your gazebo.
Yo, gazebos giving you checks for flirtings is seriously the coolest thing in this whole game.
Totally. They are very romantic locations.
They are. Guest house.
All right, is that everything from everyone?
I think so.
Yep.
All right. Then, now we must all make stable rolls, but none of you have any special horses, so that's fine. Dwinwin, you are able to recover another sumpter from your herd of horses. Every knight owns a herd.
Yay.
Family rolls time.
Oh, God.
I know.
Right? Yeah, the most intense portion of King Arthur Pendragon. Okay, so... Yes, Dwinwin, would you like to test for childbirth?
Yeah.
Both of you or one of you?
Both of us.
All right, roll 1d20 twice. Or roll 2d20, I guess.
Oh.
And the first one is you, and the second one is the Lady Adwin.
Yeah, that sounds good. Oh, God.
Okay. Neither of you bear any children this year.
No.
Elaine, would you like to test for childbirth? All right.
Sure.
Now, you have a wife, right?
I do.
Okay, so both of you or one of you?
Let's do both.
Okay, so you're
Baby
first.
it up. 2.
Nope, no children from Elaine. And no children from your wife. What's your wife's name again?
Lillian.
Lillian. Okay, cool. And Nidian, do you want to try for children?
Absolutely.
All right.
Oh, wow. Nice. Okay, that didn't work.
13. Oh, Nidian. The Lady Jenna has born unto you a pair of twins.
Oh!
Minions!
Twinians! That's great. Okay, roll 1d6 for both of them.
Canadian.
2 and 3.
The first child is a son, and the second child is a daughter.
Oh.
All right. It's time, ladies and gentlemen, for child survival.
Oh, God.
Let's skip this part.
So we'll do this in order. So Dwinwin, roll 1d20 4 times.
I still have to do that?
Oh, yeah.
How old do they have
Your
to
children
be?
are young. They've got to be like 15 before you stop rolling on
Holy shit!
child survival. Yes.
That's
What a
not cool.
Children,
Talk about a-
children who survive. Yeah. Roll a d20 for each child the character has, if any, under 15 years of age, and consult the child survival chart. So,
Oops.
was that your first roll, Kira?
Yeah.
The 3 there? Okay.
I think so.
All right. Okay. All right. So all 4 of your children survive, though your first son, your oldest son, was ill, but
Okay.
lives.
Okay, is my one son no longer sickly because he was born sickly?
Oh yeah, no, that was just that was purely in the first year of life.
Cool.
Yep. All right. So Jess,
Yeah.
let's take a look at your offspring. Do you have any?
My one boy.
Wait, where's what?
People, I think.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, Beckett. Let's see if he survives.
2020.
Yep. Oh man, ill but lives.
Hang in there, Beckett.
Got this.
You're my
Hang in
only
there, my
hope.
son.
Yep.
He really is.
Okay, so we've got Pellenor and Peridor, and then the 2 twins for Nidian. Oh yeah, totally. Yep, fine. Oh no! Oh no, your son Peridor.
No.
Peridor, no! He was the hard spear.
Oh no! Oh my God!
Did I lose 20 and 2?
You lost 2 children this year, Nidian.
Ah!
So
I'm done. Ah!
Hi.
Ah!
So your son Peridor has died. Probably he was playing with a pony and he got kicked in the ribs.
What the fuck?
Yeah, and
I told him not to go to the fucking stable. Ah!
and the Lady Jenna's first son.
Told him. He's
The Lady Jenna's first son was
Didn't
born
make
ill and didn't survive long. However, your daughter survives hale and hearty.
good. That.
Oh, Jenna.
Yeah.
Boy,
So-
that's gotta be hard. That's gonna be so hard.
Make
Oh,
sure you
man.
mark down in these character sheets that 493 was the year you lost these 2 kids.
93. This is a sad day.
That was sad. And then we've got training and practice, so each of you can do the following here for your character, and then it's just adding up your glory. So make sure to add all of the glory you earned from this year. Each of you earns 10 glory for escorting Earl Roderick to Malahot. Dwinwyn for delivering that awesome speech. I'm giving you an additional 5 glory.
Yay.
And each of you may do one of these 3 things for yourself and one of those 3 things for your squire. And then just add glory, and if you've crossed a 1,000 point threshold, you get a glory bonus point to ascribe to a trait, attribute, trait, or passion.
How much glory did we get this year, Steven? I'm sorry.
You got 10 for escorting Earl Roderick.
Thank you.
Yeah. And then plus all of your annual glory. Make sure you add all of that in. And I know that we've got to wrap it up, so I'm going to go ahead and let you all do this off air, and we'll do some shout outs now to close out our session today. Thank you all for playing. This was a super great one. We got to see some really fun stuff. Kira, why don't you give some shout outs?
Shout out to childbirth. It's hard, I hear. Good
Yeah.
job to all the moms out there.
Yeah,
For
right.
sure. In fact, tomorrow's Mother's Day.
Oh my God.
Tomorrow's Mother's Day. Shout out to all the moms and midwives who helped them. That was an amazing childbirth scene, Steven. I loved it. Thank you.
I'm really glad you got into it. That was fun. It was really awesome. And it was
Cool.
great to see you do so awesome with the Lady Adwin.
Totally.
Yeah. Awesome. Eric, give us your shout outs.
No a parent should have to kill or bury their kids. So that sucks. I'm boosting my love of family.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so yeah, it's Mother's Day. Hopefully, you guys, if you're at a point with their relationship with your mom, you got them flowers or something. Give them a call. Do it. It's important. Yeah. So I'm Eric, and I do stuff on the internet at twitch.tv/EricVulgaris and youtube.com/EricVulgaris. If you like role playing games, check that stuff out. Especially my mouse guard game called Under the Fallen Maple. I'll just watch the latest episode of that, and it'll be like, oh yeah, this is really good. I'm gonna watch everything that I do and do it. So really good. It's super good. No, it was a really good episode. So
Awesome.
Hey.
Jess,
It
give us
was.
some shout outs.
It was really good. I'm Jess. Happy Mom Day to all the moms. You're the real MVP. Follow me on Twitter at Silden. I tweet art and about games and comics and whatnot and Star Wars and nerdy stuff. And yeah. And getting ready to do another D&D campaign. It's happening soon. Don't know the exact date yet, but follow Miss Clucks for that information.
Awesome. That's super exciting. Okay, so my shout-outs, follow me on Twitter because that's where I talk about all sorts of stuff. And I'm also joining a new D&D campaign soon as a player. It's going to be Tristaray, who is the GM for that. So it's with Misclicks on D&D's official channel. So that'll be on twitch.tv/DND. And it's going to be kicking off on June 1st and 2nd when we all go to Seattle to gather together and kick off the Stream of Annihilation. So keep an eye out for that. Let me do my shout-outs to all of my wonderful supporters here today. So, starting with Shielba resubscribing for 2 months, Wayfarer V resubscribing for 7 months, Jendon for 2 months, Lauren Danger for 8 months, saying, "Lull me into a better mood, oh great players in this story of Arthurian legends," which I hope that we have done. Rooster Castile for 20 months, Daylon 9 for also 20 months, Rex T33 for 2 months, and Farnish for 13 months. Still going cool. Thank you all very much for your support, and for everybody who clicked the follow button this session. I see you all here, and I thank you very much for doing that, and I hope to see you during our next episode. So, that does it for today. Thank you very much to my wonderful players for all of your excellent role-playing. And I'll see you next time. So keep an eye out for Twitter for when we have our next session. Might be next week, and we will confirm that for you later on. That's going to do it. So have a great afternoon, and we will see y'all later.
Thanks, guys.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, Internet.
Bye.